Hey guys, this is Go Play Outside, back again with the Kanawha region. So, after the Halloween party in Lavender City, you head to a nearby cafe where you meet Grace. And Grace is a new trainer to the region, like completely new, like new visitor. And she challenges you to a battle, or you challenge her to a battle. And she sends out her first Pokemon, Rabdust, the Dust Bunny Pokemon, a pure normal type. And I didn't write any dex entries this time. I was too busy making the names and stuff. But the rest of it will make up for it. So Rabdust is literally just a dust bunny, quite literally. And that's basically it for Rabdust. So, after you defeat Rabdust, she sends out her last Pokemon, Sprayin, the Calico Pokemon, a poison normal type. Alright, so, Calico Cat Pokemon, alright. It's a Calico Cat. And its little brush tail has literally a bunch of colors. It has been mixed a bunch. And it's basically a cat that fell in some paint. And Gloria and Big Sea Greens actually likes paint, so I actually based it off of that. And, yeah. After you defeat Sprayin, or Faint Sprayin, she lets you go on your way, and then she welcomes you to stay at that cafe anytime. And then, after all that, you start heading to Volcatoa City, or town, Volcatoa Town. It's a fire town, basically. And, after all that, yeah, you head that way. And in the woods, going to that fire town, you come across a Meloot, pure grass flying type. I don't have the little category there. I made mistakes sometimes, but yeah. So Meloot is basically a pygmy owl that hides in cactuses. But instead of a cactus, since I already made like 20 cactus Pokemon, it hides in a watermelon. And yeah, that's basically it for Meloot. It's basically just a grass type owl. Then, I actually made an evolution for it, which I would like to showcase. Melosol. Same thing. Basically just a bigger watermelon based on the actual big watermelon in Big Sea Greens. Since in the actual show, Bill Green actually makes a ginormous watermelon on accident, and it becomes live on TV. So, I made this thing based on that same watermelon. Basically just a owl that hides in a watermelon. And yeah, that's basically it for Melosol. Anyways, you catch Meloot and then go on your way, walking further into the woods. You come across a den of Ciders, a psychic bug type. Again, I didn't have categories for this one because I was busy making more of them, and yeah. So Cider is basically a psychic hourglass and or black widow spider. And its little teeth are not actually teeth, they're whiskers because it's a psychic type. And the evolution will make sense. Also, it's based on those little plasma balls that you touch and it becomes lightning. So yeah. It evolves at level 25 into Enchantula, a psychic poison type still. Or, no, it changes into psychic poison. I know this kind of reminds you of Zelda in a way, that hat, but it's supposed to be a leaf hat for a wizard. And yeah, it basically becomes a ginormous wizard spider. Better than Spidops, I'd say. Because Spidops kind of looks mid, while this thing looks kind of cool. So yeah, Enchantula has the ginormous, crystal ball thing, and it's also a crystal ball spider. Which is why it's all purple and supposed to be a psychic type. Anyway, so after you catch Cider, I know you're just catching everything in the woods, but whatever. some jumps out of the trees and doesn't move much, so it's Derbian. Now I have a category, the Horny Toad Pokemon. And yes, I based it on actual Horny Toad that I looked, and it actually was like thorny and looked like a lizard. So I made a Thorny Toad Durian Pokemon called Derbian. And yes, it's a grass poison type because it smells so bad that if you came across it, you would have to, like, have a gas suit, like, gas mask, exosuit, like, thing. It's just a biohazard Pokemon. And yeah, this thing is just a durian frog. Again, I made an evolution for it, too, called Puntiawano. I mixed 2 fruits together to make this, except I forgot what the fruits were, so let's just pretend that that's the name. Anyways, the Thorned Fiend Pokemon. The grass fighting type for this because it will literally stab you. And it's based on the Thorny Devil from Australia. And that's also a lizard. So it's just a giant lizard. And it's all spiky, so if you got anywhere near it, it would literally spike you and or cut you. So watch your step. And also, there's one more Pokemon that you can find in the woods, and that is Larvluff. Again, no category, so it's just fairy bug type. And yeah, it's a cotton worm Pokemon. And yes, cotton grows in Texas, so why not make a cotton worm Pokemon? And it's a caterpillar as well. Then it evolves into Koodle. A fairy bug type, same thing. And this thing looks like Vivziepapa, bro. Like, this thing looks like she would make it. Probably because of them pink eyes, but yeah. It's a cocoon Pokemon, a male evolution. So yeah, Koodle evolves at level 15. Yeah, it's just the Butterfree line. So it evolves from that into Mothin. It's just not even a category. It's fairy bug type still. All of it's fairy bug type. And yeah, the inspiration was just a poodle moth and a silk moth put together. And this thing kind of looks cool for cotton and silk put together. Those things are supposed to be cotton, like cotton wings. And yeah. So yeah, that's just a bug. Anyways, as you're about to enter Volcatoa Town, you run into some Team Whistler grunts, Jake and Julia. So, Jake wants to steal your Pokemon, and if you beat them in a Pokemon battle, they take your Pokemon. Not really, you just get fainted like in the game. It's basically Jesse and James, and my friend Tyler actually suggested this for Don and Big Sea Green, so I made it. I had a separate Don, but I accidentally lost it, so I had to remake them. And yeah, there's the Team Whistler logo. It's just Tooth. Anyways, they send out the first Pokemon, Poison. I actually made this a few days ago, so I actually had time to make the category. So it's the Koi Fish Pokemon, a poison water type. I'm sorry I didn't write dex entries. I just made a bunch of Pokemon, so I did not have time to fit the time slot of the entire week, so I just made the Pokemon and just showcasing it. Anyways, once you defeat Poison, they send out their next Pokemon, Cavitooth, the Cavity Pokemon, a poison rock type. Yeah, this thing is a tooth. Yeah, it's basically just a tooth Pokemon, and like I said, it has evolutions, which I'll show after the battle. So yeah, Cavitooth is a cavity Pokemon, and I gave inspiration from Sableye's little eyes to make the face. Anyways, once you defeat, or not defeat, but wipe out the Cavitooth, they send out their last Pokemon. And this is a regional evolution to Glameow and or Purugly. called Pure Evil. Literally pure evil. It's based on Cheshire Cat a little bit, and I basically made a Noosh into a Pokemon again. And yeah, Tyler also suggested a Noosh as a Pokemon, which is a cat. So I made this cat Pokemon, and it's a normal dark type because yeah, it's just evil. And I'm sorry if I didn't write that many dex entries and or categories. It was because I didn't have time. Time was flying by so fast, so we just live with that. Anyways, once you finish off the Team Whistler Grunts, Jake and Julia, turns out it was a double battle. So Grace joined the battle. I forgot it was a double battle, so yeah. Julia had some Pokemon too. I didn't showcase it because it was just you fighting Jake and Julia fighting Grace. So yeah, ignore that. After all that, your Pokemon evolve, and I actually made some evolutions. One of them is for the Sinistare from the last episode, and it evolved into Pottergeist. I don't know why I named it Pottergeist. Also, this ain't brown, this is maroon, because it's supposed to represent the poison inside the Assassin's Teapot, the poisons. And it's also goes poison type because of last time. And yeah, it's basically just an Assassin's Teapot, but with the Poltegeist aesthetic to it. Anyways, another one of your Pokemon evolve into Hungryto, the hungry Pokemon. And yes, I made this also a week ago. I already made a post on it. And it's Bug Fairy type again. And yeah, Mosquito evolves into Hungryto after, I guess, it just eats a bunch and or just feed it a bunch of berries and it evolves into this thing. And yeah, it's just a cat mosquito. And there's also one more evolution to Hungryto, but I haven't made it yet, so I'll showcase it in the next episode. Anyways, Grace's Pokemon evolves. So the type of Pokemon that evolves is Rabdust and what's it called? Rabdust and I forgot the other one's name, but it was a cat Pokemon. So yeah, instead of wasting time trying to think of what it was, I'm just gonna showcase the evolution. So the evolution is Chungus, pure normal type again. So yeah, I based this one on Big Chungus. Yes, Big Chungus. So yeah, it's basically just a bunch of dust bunnies put together into one giant evolution. And yeah, it works because it's a Fat Bunny Pokemon. Better than Diggersby, I think. So yeah, another Pokemon that evolves from her team is Kittystract, is the evolution. A Poison Dark type, and yes. Or wait, the cat was Sprayin. This is a Sprayin evolution. So yeah, it's basically just a bigger cat, bigger paint all over. And yeah, that's basically the evolution Kittystract. Anyway, so once you get to Volcatoa Town, you decide to heal up your Pokemon and go to the Volcatoa Town gym, which is a fire type gym. And after you complete their challenge, which I didn't make because I again was busy, you get greeted by Heather, the fire type gym leader of the Kanto region. Basically based on Nancy Green. Yes, the mom of the main character in Big City Greens. So yeah, I gave her a fire dog. I didn't make the pre-evolution just yet. I will leak it in the next video. But it's basically a Pomeranian. And the pre-evolution is Pomeranian, and this is Pomboom. basically just an explosion dog. Anyways, so she puts Pom Boom away because she don't want it getting exploded for real, because then it would not be able to be healed again. So yeah, she sends out her first actual Pokemon, Hedgehog. I just made it like a few minutes ago, so I didn't write a dex entry, I was busy. Anyways, fire normal type, because it is a Hedgehog Pokemon, and it looks like, do you know the way? Literally, a Ugandan Knuckles. So it's just Ugandan Knuckles as a Pokemon, but it's basically a Hedgehog that's on fire. Anyways, you defeat that, and she sends off, or she sends out, Lethal, which I already made in a different video, but I just pulled it out for this. And turns out I changed the typing, updated it to Dark Fire instead of Dark Ghost, because that looks more like fire instead of ghost. So yeah, Lethal, and you know all about it. Watch that one video, I'll link it in the description. So yeah, Lethal, you defeat Lethal, and sorry if I'm slurring, I'm a little nervous. So yeah, Heather sends out her second to last Pokemon, Tarmor, the blacksmith Pokemon, a steel fire type. Obviously this thing is based on a centaur. Like literally it is a fire type centaur. So I made an evolution for it, and the evolution is called Tarbarian, but I haven't finished it yet, so I'll leak it in the next video, which will still be in Volcatile Town because you're just visiting. And yeah, so after you defeat Tarmor, she sends out her last Pokemon and Ultra distorts it. Also, fun fact, the thing earlier, after you defeated Grace the first time, was basically, turns out it was an egg. She gave you an egg. Literally, basically like Cynthia in Pokemon Gen 5. Anyways, so the Ultra Distortion form this time is freaking Tinkaton. So yeah, I fused Armarouge, Tinkaton, Chestnut for that arm playing, Surfetched with that shield, Infernape with the legs, Armarouge for the armor and stuff, Ditto right here, I distorted Ditto so it can be like that, and I also gave it Magmar's arm that is a flamethrower. So yeah, basically instant firepower Pokemon. And yeah, I very much like the Ultra Distortion form this time, because I didn't really have to do much to it. I just fused a bunch of Pokemon together to make this. Anyway, so, like I said, fused Armarouge, Chestnut, Surfetched, Ditto, Magmar, and Infernape to make this. Anyways, after you defeat Heather, she gives you the Coal Badge, or something like that. And that Coal Badge is able to go into your inventory, and you keep it. So yeah, after you, on your way back to the cafe, your egg ends up hatching, and it hatches into a Bambeagle. Basically Bambino and Eagle, not Beagle. So yeah, normal flying type, and it evolves pretty sick. It evolves into something awesome. It's literally Togepi, but better. So yeah, it's basically a baby bird Pokemon based on the bald eagle. Not really bald anymore, but yeah. Anyways, after showcasing that, you end up heading back to the cafe, and just chilling until the next episode. Spoiler alert, the next episode is a Chip Whistler battle, where he has his own Pokemon, including the evolution of Cavatooth. Anyways, thanks for watching. That's all for this episode of Pokemon Country / City, and I hope y'all like the Pokemon that I made today, and I will see y'all in the next video. Bye.